I'm a staff member and part-time lecturer at CSUN in the geography department, which means I'm pretty much involved in geography issues, cartography, computers, things of that nature. But one of my passions in life is astronomy, and I put a lot of time into it, and I like to work specifically in astronomical photography. I have a number of large telescopes which I take out in the field to practice photography, and I published a book by Cambridge University Press. I have published a number of articles in astronomy and astronomical photography. I work in collaboration with Brad Wallace at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and we generally try to get out at least once a month to have fun under the stars with our telescopes. I guess what I want to do is kind of describe what I do in this area. And first of all, I specialize in that I don't do all kinds of astronomical photography. I specialize in what we call deep space photography, which is something separate and different from photographing things in our own solar system. So what I don't do is photograph the moon, I don't photograph planets, I don't photograph the sun. What I'm mainly concerned with is shooting galaxies, star clusters, nebula, things that are outside of the solar system. On occasion, when a spectacular comet comes around, I will bend my rule and I'll photograph a comet, which is a solar system object. In order to do this kind of work, I have to move out of the city into a dark sky location. A lot of people are aware of the fact that in the city, the sky is illuminated largely by our street lights and electronic advertising, and you really can't see all the things that are out there. If you move, say, 100 miles out of town, the sky is considerably darker. You can see a lot more stars, the Milky Way, many nebula and galaxies are visible to the naked eye. So in order to practice this passion of mine, I will often pack up my telescope, which weighs in excess of 400 pounds, pack it up in my truck, drive out to the site, it's about 100 miles north of Los Angeles, set up the instrumentation, which is a long process in itself. It involves aligning to the Earth's axis of rotation, setting up computers, all sorts of auxiliary instruments. Of course, doing this kind of work, we're often subject to the vagaries of the weather. Quite often we will pack up our instruments, drive up to our site, set them up. It'll be a beautifully clear day, and right at nightfall, the clouds roll in and we are shut down for the evening. Often having to pack up the next day. But that's part of the game. Once we get in our dark site location, as I mentioned before, we pull our line instruments so that we can track. And this is necessary because in order to photograph these objects, if you like, these galaxies, nebulas, star clusters, we are required to take very long exposures. Anywhere from 30-minute exposures to 2-hour exposures, possibly as long as 4-hour exposures. These objects are very faint and therefore require long exposures. And this brings up another misconception that people have about astronomy. Many of the things that astronomers study are very faint and require instruments that are capable of seeing faint objects and require techniques that are capable of recording faint objects and are not necessarily needing magnification. The popular view of the telescope is that